What's going on, people? This is Jimmy about the hood. Just want to say something real fast about banks. Listen, everybody is a consumer. Everybody uses a bank, and that's okay. But also think about this. Everybody should be an investor, right? And if you want an example of why you should be an investor, look no further than your favorite bank. Look, I understand everybody has to be a consumer, and some people, or what should I say, everybody uses either a bank or a credit union. I mean, there are a ton of people who are unbanked, but that is a whole different video and a whole different discussion as to why. But most of us use either a bank or a credit union. So for this illustration, I just want to use some of the bigger banks. You see Bank of America, Citibank, JP Morgan Chase, and Wells Fargo. Those are some of your biggest banks. Regardless of how you feel about them or what they stand for politically or what they have done in terms of mortgages or what have you, these are the biggest banks, or some of the biggest banks, shall I say. But look at the difference when you take your money and you put it in their accounts, a savings account versus investing in a company, right? So you make 0.06% interest, and this is as of June 14th, 2020, but the dividend at that time was 3.01%, right? Now, this is not investment advice. Again, this is not investment advice. It's just, for education and illustration. I want to show that being an investor is different than being a consumer. And it's literally with the same companies. And a lot of our presentations, we talk about how banks work in terms of borrowing money at one rate and then, lending it out at a different rate in terms of their loan products. But just look at this here. Like, this is a great illustration. So it's also 2020. And what does that mean? That means that we have access because of fintech to so many apps, fractional shares. So it's not like you have to buy a lot. When I first started investing, and it wasn't that long ago, well, I mean, I guess to some people, because I have shares that are older than some folks out here probably watching this video. But when I started investing in the 90s, you couldn't just buy one share. When it first came out, I think it was a company, it was called buyandhold.com. I remember the site where you could start buying fractional shares, and that was like revolutionary, because before then, you had to buy 100 shares at a time. And just to buy a share cost $50 or so. It was crazy. But now you can open up an app, have a brokerage account in no time, and you can buy fractional shares. What does that mean? That means that the same $200 you were going to put in Wells Fargo and make 0.01% in your savings account interest, you can do that $200 and buy in stock and receive a dividend, which pays you a lot more money, right? That means if you bank at Bank of America and you love their products and keep the change and all that, all the different products they offer, take some of your money and you can buy stock in a company and make more money. Now, do your due diligence on these companies. I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm not telling you to go, invest in any of these companies, but I want you to understand that this is about becoming an investor, not just being a consumer. We're all consumers, but we need to get to the I side of the quadrant. If you don't know what that means, get cash flow quadrant. But the bottom line is we need to be investing. Because of inflation, your money is losing money. And you have to look no further than just your bank. This isn't even getting too deep into all the other companies that you could invest in, whose products you use. A lot of you, I know for a fact, just based on our analytics, are watching this video on an iPhone. But do you own Apple? But that's a whole different discussion. The bottom line with this is just take a look at what you're getting in interest. Look at what the dividend is. And this is, you can look up any bank. Go look up Ally Bank, because people say, well, Ally pays a little bit more in interest. Look at what Ally pays their investors. Ally pays their investors more than they pay the people who put their money in the bank. So just want to make this quick, short vid to tell you, listen, be an investor. Always be an investor. Own some shit. And that's what it's about. Peace.